Welcome to the blood-soaked, demon-slaying medieval fever dream that is Doom: The Dark Ages. In this latest entry, the Doomslayer is thrown back in time to a dark fantasy world. It's a prequel, and the only thing more brutal than the enemies is your arsenal. I mean, that's not exactly new. Just like medieval times aren't new either. In fact, they're very old. Still, what we're going to talk about today: hidden mechanics that unleash even more chaos and carnage. Now that's new. And today on Arcadia, 10 things you had no idea you could do in Doom: The Dark Ages. Let's start at number 10. Have fun disarming demons. Since Doom 2016, ripping monsters apart has been part of the formula, and aiming at specific body parts to destroy enemy weapons has also become a staple of modern Doom. Like nu metal. Old Doom happened during the nu metal era, so why not keep the energy? Either way, it's never been this extreme or effective. In the Dark Ages, it's actually possible, either by plan or by sheer luck, to blow off both arms of certain enemies. Once you do, they just stand there. They can't attack, can't do anything. So they just give up and stare at you, waiting to die. It's a weird thing to witness. A mancubus or a hell knight frozen in place, just watching you. But that's what happens when they're disarmed. What else could they do? It's kind of sad, and kind of hilarious. They're literal demons from hell. It's fine to laugh at their suffering, right? At number 9, enemies never explode red barrels. In most games, standing near red barrels is asking for trouble, but in Doom: The Dark Ages, it's completely safe. No matter what's going on, enemies will never set off explosive barrels. Not once. You could be standing right next to one, dodging bullets and projectiles from every angle, and those barrels, totally untouched. It's a little ridiculous when you really think about it, but honestly, it's a nice feature. These things do massive damage, to you or the enemy, and can shred the Slayer's health in seconds, even from a distance. That's a gaming classic, and it still applies here. But at least this time around, you're safe unless you choose to set them off. Of course, it's still very easy to accidentally trigger them, but at least enemy fire won't do the job. It's a thoughtful detail. Thanks, ID. At number 8. Free slow motion for days. Whether you need to aim precisely, take a breather mid-battle, or just want the fight to look cooler for a YouTube clip, slow motion is your friend. And in the Dark Ages, there are plenty of ways to use it. Time slows down when you open the weapon wheel, when you hold the shield throw button, and certain weapons like the Impaler have upgrades that trigger slow-mo to help with aiming. It's all pretty handy, but the best by far is the shield throw. It helps with targeting as intended, sure, but nothing stops you from firing your weapon while holding the button. That turns it into a free slow-motion mode you can activate anytime, for precision, for style, or just because you feel like it. Yes, the Impaler slow-mo lasts longer, but the shield throw? It's completely free, recharges fast, and doesn't tie you to a specific weapon. It's just better, in pretty much every way that matters. Do you need slow motion all the time? Some players might prefer to keep it off, but messing around with it is just plain fun. At number 7, endless ground pounds. If you've played this game at all, you already know. Falling on enemies kills them. Ground pounds are everywhere. The game even puts fodder enemies right under long drops to make sure you see it happen. What you might not know is how easy it is to pull off. The game makes it seem like you need to fall from a great height to trigger the shockwave effect. But nope. Just hop off a small ledge and boom, ground pound. It deals high damage. You don't need to be on a tower. A small hill or bump will do. It's shockingly simple. Not necessarily something to rely on. There are faster, better ways to deal with enemies in the Dark Ages. You do have literal guns, but there's something hilarious about slamming the ground like a beefed-up Mario. It's way more forgiving than you'd expect, and yeah, it's crazy fun. At number 6, there are still hidden glory kills. This one's easy to miss and the game doesn't tell you it exists. But classic-style glory kills are still around. Fans of Doom 2016 or Eternal might think they're gone, but they're not. You just need to put in a little extra effort. Once you unlock the shield saw, you can stun an enemy, jump, and then grab them. Depending on the enemy, it triggers a visceral animation where you slice them in half. It's the closest thing to the old-school glory kill vibe, outside of boss fights. You can also do it by slamming with the shield. The result is the same. It doesn't really matter how you trigger it. What matters is that it's still there, and that's awesome. At number 5, you can crank the game speed up to 150%. The Dark Ages has some wild customization options. You can tweak the experience however you want. And the wildest one? Game speed. You can slow the entire game down, or speed it up a lot. Think the game feels slower than Doom Eternal? Just bump it up 50%. Though let's be honest, it's completely insane at that speed. Still, fun to try. If you're feeling brave or reckless, try setting it to Nightmare difficulty and 150% speed. Good luck keeping up. You probably won't, because it's not just the enemies. Everything speeds up, including dialogue, so you won't understand a thing anyone says. It's literally like fast-forwarding the game. And it's way faster than Doom Eternal. If you wanted to match that pace, try 120 to 130%. But 150%? It's too much. It's practically unplayable for anyone who isn't Neo. Still, it's a cool feature, even if its usefulness is questionable. Number 4. A skeleton with a cape. Bet you didn't see this one coming? Unlike the Easter egg frenzy of Doom Eternal, the Dark Ages plays things a little more low-key, but when you do find something, it's bizarre. In Chapter 4, in the dormitory area, you can use your shield pull to reach a secret ledge. And there it is, a skeleton wearing a blue cape, almost invisible at default brightness. But if you turn up the brightness or shine a few bullets to light it up, you'll see it in all its glory. What is it? No clue. A meme? A dev having fun? A Duke Revenant? I don't know, but I'm all in for this kind of nonsense. Number 3. Break everything. One of the most satisfying things in this game. The environment is super destructible. Doomslayer is like a jacked-up cat, knocking over everything in sight. From medieval armor to carts, nothing survives. And when you pilot a mech, it's party time. You can destroy absolutely everything, even stuff you totally didn't need to. And it's amazing. Number 2. Use the classic Doom Guy portrait. Hidden deep in the game's settings is a small gem. You can swap out the player portrait. You can turn it off, use the new blue neon version, or activate the original Doom Guy portrait from the old school games. And it works just like it used to, shifting eyes, damage states, pain animations. All the classic expressions are there, completely unnecessary, and completely awesome. Who could say no to that face? And finally, number 1, an old-school developer Easter egg. Right at the beginning of the game, near the melee weapon tutorial, take a look at the wanted posters outside the burning pub. Yep, that's Hugo Martin, the game's director and head writer, in full pirate gear. And the others? Most likely more developers from ID Software. One of them really looks like Marty Stratton. I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty convinced they're all part of the dev team. If you recognize anyone, leave a comment. They deserve a shout-out, or to be captured, if we're sticking with the poster theme. This is a classic way to sneak devs into games, and in 2025, it feels more like a tribute than anything else. Modern games don't often take time for silly stuff like this, but when they do, it's appreciated. What do you think? Drop us a comment. Enjoyed the video? Hit like? Not subscribed yet? Now's the perfect time. We post new content every day, and the best way to catch it first is to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching. See you next time. right here on Arcadia.